We pulling? What's up, I'm Jim Pro, and this is the Ready Check Pull Guide to Rotmire on all difficulties. Thanks to Baby Brainlock on YouTube for helping us get this footage. The footage is mythic, but normal and heroic follow the same basic loop with fewer ads. This fight has one repeating phase, heavy AoE ad cleave, and you bloodlust on pull. Let's go over the ads real quick. On normal, you get a bunch of Shroomling ads that fixate random players and need to be brought on top of the tanks. Heroic adds in a single Spore Cap ad that doesn't move and needs to be interrupted and killed. On Mythic, you'll also get Fungling ads that fixate random players, and their corpses can never be within 10 yards of the Shroomling corpses. So, on all difficulties, you'll start by pulling the boss right where it stands. Ranged players can stack behind the boss. About 15 seconds in, you'll get your first ad spawns. On normal, just dodge the circles and have the fixated players run onto the tanks and AoE the Shroomlings down. On Heroic, there's a Spore Cap ad that needs to be interrupted and killed, so for the first round of ads, you simply drag the boss on top of the Spore Cap and cleave it down. On Mythic, you'll get the Fungling ads that also fixate players. Funglings can never die on a Shroomling corpse, so you'll need to separate them by having the fixated players with Shroomlings run to the tanks, while the players fixated by the Fungling ads take them to the back of the boss where the ranged players are stacked. In testing, the ads could be gripped, pushed, and stunned, which will definitely help if any random fixates are in the wrong spot. If a Shroomling corpse and a Fungling corpse ever touch, you spawn Doom Shrooms and, you're dead. Once all of the ads are cleaved down, you'll get a second set of ads. On normal, just stack them up on the boss and cleave them down. On Heroic, you'll get a second Spore Cap that spawns far away. Ranged needs to get off of the boss and solo target the Spore Cap to kill it before the Fungal Bloom cast finishes. On Mythic, you'll sort the fixate ads just like before, Shroomlings on the tank and Funglings behind the boss on the range stack. Ranged players still need to be targeting the Spore Cap here to interrupt and kill it before the Fungal Bloom cast. Melee players can help kill the Spore Cap once all the other ads are dead, but the boss shouldn't move from this spot. Once the boss finishes Fungal Bloom, a ton of bursting shrooms will spawn in place of all of the previously killed ads. They can't be moved, so kill as many as possible before their cast finishes. Any leftover shrooms explode for huge raid damage. On Heroic and Mythic, there's almost always one bursting shroom left over from the second Spore Cap that spawned far away. This one will end up finishing its cast, causing it to explode, doing a crazy amount of raid damage. So everyone needs to quickly stack up on the ranged, and you'll need to use big healer DRs like Aura Mastery, Link, Rally, as well as some healer throughput to live the damage. Then you just move the boss back to the middle, get ready for the next Spore Cap to spawn, and start the phase all over again. Drag the boss onto the first Spore Cap, sort the fixate ads, and do the big healing section again. That's the whole fight. The only other mechanics are the green circles that go out on a few players. These do a ton of damage, so healers need to be ready to spot heal these players. And if you're targeted, you'll be super slow, so pop a defensive and get these out of the raid as fast as possible. And for the tanks, you'll have Putrid Fist to deal with. This is a big physical hit that knocks the tank up and makes them take 75% increased physical damage for 14 seconds. Just use a defensive and taunt swap whenever the debuff falls off. And that's pretty much it. Here's a quick recap for you to review or screenshot for later. You can find all of our recaps and raid plans for free over at the Ready Check Pull Discord. Big thank you to our supporters on Patreon for making these videos possible. We have a bunch of heroic and mythic walkthroughs already up on our Patreon, so if you're interested in that, check out the links below. Peace.